And we should be live, by the looks of it. Yep, we're fine. So, as the stream title says, today we are doing Russian cruisers. Mainly my Kirov classes, because I don't have those two spaded yet. And I kind of want to wait to play the Chapayev and Sherbakov when I have Kuchizov and Sverdlov as well. Both are pretty close to being spaded, although still a fair ways away, especially the Gorky, being a bit more expensive to research stuff for it. And hello there, Boyan and Crimson. Anyways, let's get started. And there, hello there, Deutschland. Coral Island is not my favorite to start with. It is not a good cruiser map. I think the Chapayev is a better cruiser compared to the Kirov. Not that I've played either of them too much, but I do think the Russian light cruisers are a fair bit better than these 180 mil cruisers. Did have a good spawn right in the back of the pack. Is it a battleship I see? No, that's a light cruiser. I don't know if they're worse, I haven't gotten the hang of them. I also think that the Kirovs themselves are a bit more fragile compared to the Chapayevs, but I'm not entirely sure. Gosh darn it. Yeah, there's sample text. At the moment it's still viable, sure. If you know what you're shooting your high explosive at. Yep. This is how I continue on his turn? Doesn't look like it. And I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the Russian cruisers, I just have them. And that Helena is perfectly placed to block my turn to the left. Hey. Why do I have my secondaries bound together with my mains? I don't want it on my Russian cruisers. But now I'm just gonna ram that Helena out of the way. Should be able to make a turn. Get the hell out of my way. I am aware. Painfully so, even. Of course, the enemies do have a coastal vessel, capturing points. Before I press tab to see what this player is complaining in chat, how much do you want to bet that that's a premium cruiser captain who is completely unaware about the botting problem? I'm willing to bet money on it, so let's check. Newport News. Almost. Has he played a lot of naval? Oh, he has, but Moffat and Helena. Helena, of course, being... Jesus. Oop. The Kirov does not have that many anti-air guns. Where is it? It has some... I think those are single-shot 37s. Oh, what else does it have? It has some automatic guns in the rear here, I think. Those seem like single-shot 37s as well. Oh, 45s. And some Dishkas. And the Kirov itself... not much better. Oh, hello, enemy SKR. Yeah, the kid of Maxim Gorky, and what was the other one again? I'm blanking on the name as well. This car is turning more sharply than I thought. I'm trying to ammo rack this SKR. Almost. But I think we should just be going for the engines. And there we go. Just an AI, but oh well. Helen is as far as the eye can see. I do have an aircraft I could use to capture the points. But I think it'll just get shot down by the AI gunners of these Helenas. And if I only capture one point, it doesn't make much difference anyways. That's the one, kind of Voroshlov. I think, yeah, that one actually does have quite a formidable anti-air suite, from what I remember. You know... Yeah, no, those coupons do not stack. That hull is sinking. That is a Des Moines. That's been sunk by another Des Moines. That's the enemy PT boat, and actually that's the AI one. Slowly sinking again. Ooh, another Des Moines. I think. Yeah, that looks like a Des Moines. I bring both SAP and AP just because SAP can do well against the lighter skinned blue water vessels, like destroyers and cruisers, lighter cruisers. I bring AP if I really want to try and penetrate the belt, because I do think Des Moines is somewhat armored. So I just loaded the AP to be sure to actually break through its belt. Although it doesn't seem like I have to try and amrack the Des Moines. It's already pretty wounded.
Attack the B point.
So let's load this up again.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
I just have to launch a plane, don't I? Let's just make sure I can get into Charlie. And slow down in Charlie. But of course you don't get the cap unless you're in it, I think. Or was my ship actually just getting the cap there? I'm not too concerned about the Mikuma.
Attack the B point. Roger that. Allied forces have captured a zone.
So we are not going to stick around and capture Bravo, we're just going to decap it.
Roger that.
And we're going to try and decap A as well. I'm going in way too fast. I do not want to tear my floats off like I just did. I have my wing floats, they still work. Who needs a centerline float when you have wing floats? Although I am kind of curious where it's keeping that much fuel. And again, we're just going to decapture Alpha. There we go. What are you talking about, crash? I'm fine. I am going to J out it because I no longer need it. I need to be careful about what my ship's doing. There we go. Burning, so the 100 mils can get the aircraft, but it seems you already got them. And that was a player in the V990 from earlier. I'm repairing, don't worry. Oh, I wish I could still see his front magazine. It would have been a very juicy target to hit right now. So well. I need to get into cover. I'm going to run myself aground because my bridge has been knocked out. But that's fine.
Destroy the target.
The thing is, I don't have much crew to play around with either, and not that many of my crew compartments have been damaged. So one or maybe two good salvos from that spay will just end me. Not that it's necessary, since Helena just took him out. And the only enemies left are these guys, really.
Attack the enemy.
I should not repair that, that's my aircraft catapult and some anti-aircraft guns. I do still have torpedoes. I don't think I'll be able to use them. Oh, he's been sunk. Good. Leadership first? I mean, it's not a bad idea to put it on leadership first. Okay, now I do have to repair my anti-aircraft guns. Because we are dealing with an aerial threat, although it's damn huge. Leadership is not a bad skill to go for first for ships, because it buffs pretty much everything about your ship. Oh, those are going to be direct hits. Ooh, just a bit low. You don't take the BV-23 out of naval. You don't want big targets. The two? Did I have HATF in game as well? 'Cause I'm not too sure on that. I know the Japanese TOW-3s have HATF, but the Kirov as well? Not a bad haul for a first match. Granted, with a booster as well. Sure thing, Deutschland, just give me a second. There is main gun HATF. Why do I not see you online? There we go. Again, I have not been able to play it yet because I can't find it on emulators. And my phone is not potent enough to actually play it. But in general, it doesn't really spark my interest. War Thunder Mobile. It's a mobile game. I mean, what can you expect from it? Although I haven't really looked into that game much either. Because the AR2 has dive brakes, is why. And it's faster. So I don't actually think so. 3... I'll have to check after the battle, but I do not remember what bomb load the DB3 has. But I've come to quite like the AR2. This is an interesting map to have for 5.7. Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised we haven't seen any 5.7 and 6.0 ships yet for France. Like, I genuinely hope they're not going to put, like, from Colbert straight to the battleships. Because if that's how the tree looks on the live version, that is quite atrocious. We have a Cuckle, so we're in a full down here. Please, Cuckle, let me get in front of you. Please. Oh, god damn it. No, this is the one I want. This is the one I want.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
There we go. That's what you do. Oof. You know, I got a full down here by the looks of it. They aren't slower, they're faster in arcade. Oh, no, B, because that's the realistic speed of these ships. In arcade, they're artificially faster. Then in arcade, sorry. I misread that. Wait, he's here? Is there... He is. The rat. We have found him. Where is he? Where is he? That you did. We have found the rat. We have now one goal. Probably, that's a good shout. Mag, actually, he is indeed probably on A.
The enemy is winning.
Although he doesn't have a cap, it's not him. It's not him that captured A. We must find the rat and sink him. You know, of all YouTubers, I'm actually surprised he doesn't use the anonymizer feature. Because I'm willing to bet there's quite a few naval mains that actively try to hunt him down. I'm literally trying to identify all of them. I mean, if you can hit them before they cap, sure, it's worth it. We have found the rat. And he's playing an American premium destroyer, who would have guessed? Did he just... He J'd out. He J'd out. I didn't do critical damage to him. Did I set him on fire? Oh, damn it. Of course. Of goddamn course. Can you understand why I don't really respect Napalm at all that much? Oh, Jesus. I hit him twice. He J'd out and left. Imagine my shock. Now that guy is a threat, because that's a player Spokojny. Actually, Blagorodny need to be more precise, and he's almost killing me. Give him some credit, Boyan. Got hit twice. He did get hit twice. Oh look, there are his torpedoes. Missing by a country mile, because I saw that coming from miles away as well. Yep, torpedoes. You might have to be careful, Deutschland. Those might hit you. Fucking gold mine of a man, that guy. I didn't set him on fire, right? Because I did hit him near the rear turrets. And the fire might have detonated him, but I highly doubt it. Also, my Kiro is almost sunk. Because it's really not that tanky of a cruiser. Wasn't he getting into cover as well? I don't understand the man. I really don't. He did, I know, he did. I know. He left. I'm going to check the replay after this. 100%. That's funny as all hell, though.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
I'm so goddamn happy Commander Tyrrell has become a naval CC. Like an actual CC, damn it. Now we have more than just the one. He's no longer even on the scoreboard. He left that early. Oh yeah, did he become an official CC? I thought he just became a YouTube partner. Like, being able to monetize his stuff, basically. If even Gunship is a CC, I am slacking. I really need to get on my video production. I've been streaming too much and I've gotten out of the workflow, so to say, for making videos. Go ahead, Boyan. Line up. Okay then.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
No, I'll talk about it later. I'll do a little test drive and tell you what that's about. Because it's better to show rather than just try and explain. But the... yeah, no, I'll just show it. After this battle. But first we're going to check out the replay. Then I'll show you. I have actually streamed and saw Napalm Rat on the enemy team several times now. And every single time I saw him during a stream, he's done the exact same thing. And it's just spawn in once, die at some point, leave. I remember I ran into him when the Congo was freshly released. And he was playing it on, and I faced him during a match on Midway, the one circle map. He played it for quite a while, then halfway during the match just left. Wasn't even close to sinking, just left. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because the requirements for being a community contributor for, or just a content creator for Gaijin is actually pretty strict. It's not the easiest. Although I say strict, it's not actually that strict if you just look at it, or you wouldn't think it's that strict. It can be surprisingly difficult to reach.
Commencing attack.
That should do it. That did it. There's Spokoni. Spokoni does have a vulnerable ammo rack. I think in front of the rear gun. That is not nearly enough lead. But yeah, near the rear gun. Just a little bit in front of it. You see it poking just above the waterline there. That is too much lead. I also think he's slowing down. Yeah, he is slowing down. He's flooding as well, that's why he's launching torpedoes. Doesn't really matter anymore though. Welcome to being a naval player in War Thunder. Enemy aircraft up apparently.
Somebody attack him.
Peshka, okay. Do I have HE? I do have VT on these guns, good. He's still outside of anti-air range though, although he's getting into it. It's almost within anti-air range. I know it's a Spokoni. Also, you have a cruiser shooting you. Hamden. Hamdens also have vulnerable ammo racks if you know where to find them. It should be around there-ish. He's slowing down and I'm slowing down. And there he goes. Yeah, although I think that Peshka is gonna go down because of the fire.
Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
Let's try... Oh, never mind. I was about to try and main gun him. What aircraft am I hearing? Oh, friendly recon plane. We should. Although I don't really care about the squad wagers too much. LA5, I'm not in the slightest bit concerned about LA5. Because it doesn't carry any ordnance. Hello there, S38 or S100. Goodbye, S100. It was an S38. Yeah. But now, we're gonna check the replay to see what killed Napalm. And then I'm going to tell you what the bomb aiming thing actually shows you. Okay. Another booster, I very much appreciate it. Even more SL because Battle Pass, even more appreciated. Yes, replay time, first and foremost. Ah, yeah, Deutschland, I'll be right back. Obviously. I started playing the game, playing arcade. Naval, I pretty much started playing realistic right off the bat. Because Naval was introduced long after I really became familiar enough with the game. So what we're going to do is follow Napalm. There's a standard. Does he bring both sap shells? Nah, it's just napalm. That's how you play the story, you just shoot as soon as you can. So yeah, we're about to engage him. There goes my first salvo. Hits no real damage. He's about to get into cover, not too long. You know, not too much longer. I think that's my second salvo. Okay, that did detonate him. That did, like, do a ready rack fire, but other than that... That might have been a genuine detonation by fire. Although I actually do kind of want to time it, so let's go back a bit. There's a detonation. And time be done, but it don't. That might have been a genuine fire detonated his magazine and he just left after one death. It being napalm though, I do want to give it a 50-50 on it being a J out as well. But oh well. I didn't I didn't see me detonating him, but I guess I did detonate him then. Oh well. Now, bomber stuff. Let's just do a test flight. Of course, it didn't spawn in the air, but it doesn't really matter. Exactly. So, we'll get into the bombing view. Because I'm not quite high enough, it's grayed out. I think. Let's see if we can get... There we go. I don't see the dot yet. Yeah, okay. That's, of course, the white line in the middle is just your plane's attitude. So how many degrees up your plane is pointing, and how much of a bank angle you have, of course. The dot is where your plane is actually flying. So currently my plane is pointed up at 5 degrees, but I'm only climbing at 2.5 degrees. Like, that dot is just supposed to show you the vector, I guess, of your aircraft. Whilst the white line, the actual crosshair, shows you the actual position of your aircraft. If you kind of understand what I'm saying. So currently, let's go up more. So now my plane is pointed up 10 degrees. But I'm actually only climbing at a rate of roughly 7 or 8 degrees. You can also tell if I pull it down. Although let's slow down so you actually see it. So you know, 0 degrees means flat. I should not be climbing, I should not be gaining or losing altitude. If I put my crosshair on the 0, you can see I'm losing altitude. If I... Oop, let's try not to throw off my crosshair too much. If I put that dot on the 0, now you see my altitude is stable. Even though my plane is clearly actually pointing up a little. So the dot is not what you're supposed to aim with. The dot is a representation of the vector of your aircraft. You aim with just your crosshair. So the center of the crosshair is where your bombs will fall, if I can actually get it to fall. So I aimed like for the start of the tree line. It should fall right to the tree line. It'll always fall at pretty much the center of your crosshair, with a bit of an accuracy, of course, depending on your altitude and a cruise skill. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. White line is the attitude of your aircraft. The dot is your actual aircraft vector, telling you what your aircraft is actually doing. So if you want to climb, for example, at a certain amount of degrees, you need to look at the dot, not at your line. Yeah, I hope that helped clear that up. It's not that it will fall where you want, it's just that dot shows you what your aircraft is actually doing, whilst the line is showing you where you pointed your aircraft. I don't really know how to explain this because I don't know the proper terminology for it. Anyways, let me just re-invite Deutschland here. I think as soon as he's ready. The crosshair is... Alrighty, Deutschland. We have indeed defeated the rat at least once. Yeah. Well, we're no longer really worried about the squad, let's just go back again. We're aiming the crosshair right. I'm still flying with just... Oh, actually that reminds me, you have a... Although does it level you off when you're bombing? Not too sure. But I think there's an option for aircraft, hold on. Where it will try to level you off if you're bombing or something like that. I know it will try to level you off if you're trying to use gunners, but I've disabled that. Although I think, is that an option or is that a control? I do not remember. Oh, I don't use a button. I'm just flying with my mouse like normal. So hold on a sec. Let me get airborne again. It's the virtual cockpit is much of the same, really. And of course, then you have a different indicator because you don't need your bomb reticle. So bomb reticle time. Let's go down. Let's actually just get over this cliff so the bomb reticle starts aiming. Usually, if you're at high enough altitude, you see the little arrow right here at the top. That's my cursor. So I want to climb, I just pull up like I normally would in an aircraft. I just pull up. Then I can climb if I just... There we go. If I want to go down, I just pull my cursor down like I normally would. And yeah, you have this little arrow showing you where your cursor is pointed from going left and up and down. It's just, yeah, moving the plane up and down. Is it an option? So let me actually check air battle settings. There's so many damn options nowadays. I don't think it's in options. Would it be common battle settings? No. Main parameters? No. Genuinely no clue. Well, you need to lead your bomb, obviously. And after a while, you just get used to how to lead a bomb. I think, does this range have moving targets for ground? I don't think they do. Yeah. Was it really? Am I that blind? There it is, there it is. It's a drop-down menu. I put it on no because if I do always, so that's I think that's the default one, always. What it'll do is it'll level you off, so you can't go up and down. That's probably the problem you're having. You can go left and right however much you want, but you can't go up and down. Which I found very annoying if you're trying to dodge some aircraft in a bombing view. Or if you're trying to lob a bomb or dive bomb actually. So you go to options, you go to air battle settings and this drop down menu, and I put it always on no. Because now you can go dive bombing, AR2 is air brakes. Much easier. I was going to look at the DB3, wasn't I? Do I own it? I do. I don't have it spaded, which might explain why I don't have it, although... Sure, it has a bigger bomb, but isn't it a slower aircraft? 410, 512... Less maneuverable, slower climb rate as well. I think that's the main reason I like the AR2, is just it's relatively speedy. On normal bombers, yes. I think. On dive bombers, it actually becomes more accurate. I will admit I haven't really tried it in sim, like the auto-leveling stuff. Because I don't really play a lot of sim anymore, and I really should. But yeah. I just did my special task, didn't I? I did, so let's try and get a new one. Sure. 1800 score, right? In 2 missions. Let's see how doable it is. Well, no, I don't actually think your bombs become less accurate. What you're probably referring to is the fact if you're using arcade or CC, IP or something like that on some bombers, your crosshair in arcade especially widens when you're diving. And I don't think that's because they become less accurate, it's just because you can't... I don't know how to describe it. It's basically to make you not use a bomber for what it isn't intended. Okay. Another mixed match of 5-7 to 5-0. Should be fine. We have some Moffats we can shoot at. So we'll just open fire. Those shells are not looking too... a bit too far forward actually. And a bit too high as well. Let's try and get behind this Detroit. That was closer to where I wanted to hit.
Thank you.
So many Moffats. So many potential magazine detonations. That one doesn't look too bad. Ooh, too high again. There we go. Too far in the rear? Yep. Haven't seen any enemy cruisers yet. Nope, that might be one. Yep, light cruiser. You know, theoretically, I could use my scout aircraft to capture these caps early, but there's not much point in doing so. Because none of the caps are being threatened. I also do not know if there are any coastal vessels near the cap that will just instantly shoot me down. And I'm heading towards the capture point myself anyways. It's not like I'll take 20 minutes to get to the cap. Already at 500 score. I'm kind of concerned about us losing all those Moffats so quickly. Concerned enough to think that the enemy might have real players. Like quite a few of them. Yeah. Although that squadron I think is all mostly botters as well. What cruise? Is that a... what is that? Looks American. I can't quite tell. By the shell volume it looks American. It's a Helena. Of course it is. And if I am going to be under focus fire from the Helena, I am not going to survive too long. All the shells doing no damage. This Helena has an abhorrent void space in between the turrets. We can deal with that. I hope. SKR, that's an AI, but we'll detonate it anyways. Shadow depth, I need to turn right. Enemy Moffat. Another prime target to detonate. 2 enemy Moffats. Even better. Still gonna fire my AP because they're at a high angle. The Helena has luckily not been too successful yet at trying to sink me. But I haven't been too successful at thinking these Moffats either. Even though my hits should be pretty much on target. Let's fire SAT now. I'll purposefully beach myself. If I can actually reverse from that though, that's another question. Oh, of course. Magazine detonation, because I put my bow out of the water. And let's see what you can do with this AR-2. Nothing is threatening the capture points. So that's good. That's the Plenzoigen. The Helena that sank me has already been sunk. I already saw it in the kill feed. Not too worried about his Moffats. But I think I have a juicy looking cruiser right there. Moving at full speed. And I think I might actually drop the single one on that. Maybe save the 2 500s for the Eugen. Or I might actually just drop it on this Moffat anyways. Seeing as he's beached. You turn away to avoid the anti-air. There we go. Sadly, I can't drop the remaining 2 bombs individually. And I think I might have to go for a Moffat, although I really don't want to, since they're really easy to kill. As long as somebody actually kills them. Away. Try not to crash into the ocean. And another Moffat sunk. Ouch. There goes my wingtip. And a lot more if I'm not careful. Already got enough score for that special task, now we just have to win. I think I might actually J out and get into a Kurovo scout plane. Capture Alpha. So we're going to slow down, so we don't overextend our ship. I would if I actually had any Italian aircraft, any good ones. I don't really have their best strikers, although they do have some pretty potent low-tier bombers with big bombs. Pardon me. Yeah, some of the best Italian strikers are apparently the SM... is it 91 or 92? And I don't have this aircraft. I could... Actually, what battle rating is the 108 again? Because if it's at a battle rating where it will realistically face coastals, I'm down. If it's in a battle rating for just all destroyers, that's not gonna happen. I do see an enemy ship over there, which would be the greatest concern. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fly around and line up to capture Bravo. That is the plan. And this time we won't rip off my central pontoon. Or at least try not to rip it off. I drop those bombs with the ejection button and not the bomb drop button so I don't get splashed. Can we stay in the gap though? I think we can. It's a pretty big capture point. We don't get bounced out. Okay, I don't like seeing all that shell fire. I don't like getting bounced around either, come on. Go down. Capture this point. Oh jeez.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
This plane is pretty maneuverable on the water. The best 5-7. Oh boy, that's putting me on the spot. Well, what used to be the best 5.7 is most likely Cleveland or Fargo, but they've been moved up to 6.0 quite a while ago now. What else do we have the choice of? Oh, jeez. I mean, the British don't really have anything too noteworthy at 5.7. British heavy cruisers aren't bad, but I wouldn't call them the best either. Germany is pretty solid with its 5.7s. With the Eugen probably being a good contender. Russia, I don't really think the Kudos should be on the top. Would be considered the best. What on earth is this plane doing? Well, that's one way to stop, I guess. And get a capture point. So the British... the Japanese are kind of in the running with Miyoko, I'd say, because 10 8-inch guns, that hits quite hard. Of course, it's not really that survivable, though. The Italian cruisers are pretty good as well. With Pola and Zara, of course, being strong contenders as well as their other 5.7s. Not really too sure. Oop. And mission 1. And we got more than 1,800 score for a battle pass. Well, not battle pass task, just a special task. Yeah, New Orleans isn't bad. I actually quite liked New Orleans back when I spaded it. Of course, it is pre-zombies. I'll go with smokescreen next for the cutoff. But yeah. Let's actually look at the 5.7s again. Not the aircraft, the boats. But yeah, Cleveland and Fargo used to be 5.7 and I like the Cleveland and Fargo even more than I do the Brooklyn. Then Germany, of course, has Spey, Köln, heck, even Nuremberg. Admiral Hibbert. The Nuremberg is underappreciated because people do not realize it's actually a better version of the other two cruisers. Hipper is a very strong contender, although I don't have any personal experience in either Eugen or Hipper, although I've heard good things about it. The Kirovs and the mid are very squishy, for alright firepower in my opinion. The British have a wealth of choices. Actually, best 5.7, we might have one without any contender. Although the Glorious is a weird ship. Because you'd think, oh, 15-inch guns, clearly the best thing. 15-inch guns are actually kind of bad. Also, one, because poor dispersion. Two, they overpen at all of these zombie ships. They go straight through any Helena without fusing. But yeah, the Glorious is a funky 5.7. Japan, of course, doesn't really have any strong 5.7s. Except for Miyoko, which I'm still surprised is a 5.7. I mean, like the Abruzzi and Zara is not a bad choice either for 5.7. But yeah. Oh yeah, I was going to look at the... I don't think I have it, though. I don't. I will say 2-3 is a battle rating I'd want to try it out in. I might actually try and go for it then somewhere soon. Oop. But yeah, Russian cruisers. Keep going. Ah, New Zealand Cape. Luckily, I am playing a cruiser, so I do actually like New Zealand Cape and cruisers. Also, I need to rebalance this ammo choice on the Kirov. No, not HE, SAP. That's appropriate, roughly. And some HE. Yeah, 2 new battleships, Philip. Both of them seem kind of mediocre. I think one of them was Paris, which was data mined. A Quebec class battleship. And it seems to be 6-3. The second being a Lorraine. What class battleship was it again? I put it in a YouTube post, but I forgot what it actually was. It's a funky battleship. It's 6-7, poor armor, mediocre shell penetration. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work out. And what do we have here? Somebody jaying out 3 times in his Aigle. Okay. Yes, only 8 guns on the Lorraine, but they are 13-inch guns. I think they are like proper. They're 340mm guns, which I think is actually a bit bigger than 13-inch. Almost the same. Yeah, it's almost 13.5 like the Marlborough. And hello there, Commander Turiel. It may be June for you, but it's still 48 minutes away. Want to know something funny, Turiel? I ran into Napalm Rat a few battles ago. I shot at him twice, he died, and then left immediately after. I love it. I love running into Napalm Rat in a battle on stream, because he always does the exact same thing. He either jays out 3 times in a reserve PT boat and leaves, or he actually spawns in something, dies once, and leaves as well. Without fail. We have some Noxes and Moffats. Yeah, that fix didn't change anything, because again, the bots do not use AI gunners. The one thing I have noticed though, I think that the bots no longer really fire their main guns at aircraft, including Moffats. I think because they physically can't unless they manually aim it. So now it's practically prime time to bomb bot Moffats. Because all they'll have to shoot back at you are the Chicago pianos. And 20 mils. I think actually Moffat does have better AA, doesn't it? Yeah, I knew as soon as I read that change, it wouldn't change anything. And it didn't. Because of course it didn't. Yeah. There we go. Our first Moffat claimed. Of this battle at least. I will say he does live up to his name pretty well. Okay. I don't usually look either. I would have completely not noticed unless my squad mate actually called out that he was in my match. Yeah. I was actually saying earlier when I ran into him that I was so happy we actually got another naval CC that wasn't just him. That of course being you. Okay, yeah, Kako. I'm going to ignore that Kako for now. Okay, the Kako seems to no longer be ignoring me. You can Amarak Kakos, and I think the front rack. Oh, that's going to be an engine hit. Although, not too much to the rear. I know I was able to detonate the Kakos, but its Amarak doesn't actually seem to be that far above the water. I think I might have done it at a longer range of diving shells. So let's just go for a crew kill.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
Yeah, I haven't fought a Kako in so long that I don't actually know where its crew compartments are. Yeah, I played Japanese cruisers a while ago on stream now, and I've got to say I've fallen in love with those 8-inch guns again. From just playing those Japanese heavy cruisers. They hit like absolute trucks. But they are rather fragile. That was Namarak apparently, okay. He's already sinking. An odd choice of coastal vessels to bring as it doesn't have torpedoes, but it will.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
Remember now, this capture point is actually pretty small. So we do have to ensure I actually get on it. Crossfired? Oh. Okay, that's a surprise organ. That beached himself, so it's no longer a problem. Of course, Akazuki, that was our Kako player. And an enemy Mitcher, that was the PTF-7 player. gonna sink the Mitcher first. Why? Because I have a Japanese bias, that's why. That the Akizuki I'm not too worried about, it only has HE. Also the Mitcher does have sap as well. This Moffat has to die as well. Seems I missed a Mitcher, but that's fine. Flooding, this can be dealt with. Mitcher is sinking. Moffat should be... ooh, almost. Almost. I need to be careful with torpedoes, because it was an Akizuki I shot at earlier. And we all know that Japanese ships have torpedoes. That's a Frank Knox. Let's deal with this Moffat first. Should probably try and repair soon as well, as my main guns are a bit damaged. Yeah, let's just repair. Is our friend in the Mitcher back again? It is. That is a bad timing for a fire. The turret, and there I go. Took him long enough. I might still be able to take this fracture down with me. I think I might have gotten that fracture down to enough crew loss. But we do have another kill off. That seems to be a Dido. Don't see many of those around. That's also not really any of my concern. Actually, did get sunk by my last few salvos. And the question is, can I fly towards Alpha and cap it? I don't really want to try with all these destroyers still up ahead. We are losing, both in ships left and tickets. We do hold equal caps. I think we might have somebody trying to capture Charlie. Although I doubt he'll make it. Yeah. Enemy aircraft up. P-61, we're fine. I think we are fine. At least the P-61 cannot capture any points. Pardon me. That should be fine. Died on the flank is something I do have to be concerned about. Is that everybody in Yakazuki? It is. B61 got shot down. Of course, I hit the one part of Yakazuki that is already destroyed. And it seems... Oh, it's an enemy Eugen. I don't like fighting Eugens. Such a pain to sink. Of course, we also have that Frank Knox all the way over there shooting me. I think I'll just ignore the Eugen and get into cover. Of course, if it takes out my transmission, it's a bit hard to ignore. That Moffat is preventing me from possibly taking Alpha of an aircraft, so let's shoot it. But Eugen would be out of the way in a few seconds. Oh, welcome back, Deutschland. What actually is the reload rate on the Eugen's main guns? I know that what's hitting me, what I see firing are not the main guns, those are the secondaries. Really? Oof. 15 seconds for the main guns of an Eugen. That's on the fast rate of things, isn't it? Although I said it isn't really. The Japanese fire every 12. Eugen sank somehow, I only fired at it once, so I'm good for that. God. I really do not like being in crossfires like this. And I guess that is kind of the point. That I really hit the exact same engine that was already destroyed at Moffat. God damn it. There we go. Now I can focus on the Yakazuki, which has pretty much already sunk me again. Although bowing like this, it should not be able to sink me, I think. Now I'm going to launch, well, repair and then launch a recon plane, because my recon plane is currently on a wrecked catapult. I highly doubt that patrol ship will actually capture Alpha. Enemy aircraft approaching me, I assume. Let's ditch his bombs. I'm just gonna send my aircraft away. I need to be careful about enemy aircraft. There it is. E-49 is a daring choice. We do have a friendly about to enter Charlie, that's good to see. I'm flooding, apparently. But we can fix this relatively easily. All I need to do is decap Alpha. I don't even need to cap it. I think they're shooting me again, aren't they? Or they're shooting something else. Okay, I'm just not even gonna stick around to capture Alpha, I'm just going to decap it. And with 7 minutes left, we should have enough time to flip the tickets around. There we go. I think our foot attack I should be able to capture Charlie.
Attack the C point.
If it actually wants to or not is a different question. Yeah. I have heard of the Soviet Hipper. Wasn't it also actually some kind of artillery platform in one of the famous city battles? Although I don't remember which city battle. Why am I still hitting high on this Moffat? There we go. No, it does not. It didn't before they, like, as soon as the first dev server came up, it already didn't. Like, I'm going to do right 3, 2. I don't know if you can hear that through my microphone, but I'm furiously pressing 1. Yeah. No, the thing is that icon already didn't show up, like, last week. What happened to our ship near Charlie? Do we no longer have a ship near Charlie? God damn it. Oh well, I do have some coin I could spawn and move it to alpha. I do have backup kit off, but I think I'll spawn Spokoni. If naval had nukes, if only. I've actually had a really good match. It's a nice long match as well, meaning even more research points. Match is not over yet. Well, if you want to open fire on me from that range, I'll open fire right back. So instead of capturing Charlie or friendly for the attack, I went directly into their spawn. Good stuff. Excellent stuff.
Attention to the designated grid square. Attack the C point.
And he's been destroyed by an Isuzu. Okay. In general, I mean, one nation at a time. Kind of hard to say. Because people tend to be very focused on, like, I just want to do this nation, to get it to completion and move on to the next. Just play what you think you have, you know, find fun. But it's also, yeah, it's a bit hard to say though. Because I do completely understand, like, the want to collect vehicles of one specific nation. Like, for example, I'm a fan of the Japanese vehicles. I just find them interesting vehicles. I have all of them. And it's the one factory I will always try and grind out, no matter what, if I'm having fun or not. Which is not the healthiest mindset, but it is a mindset. But I've played a bit of everything. And I think the only nation I really have everything with is Japan. Specifically when it comes to naval, I think the three nations you want to look out for are Japan, Britain and America. With potentially Russia if we're getting to more modern stuff. But doing one nation, yes, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I don't think I've ever really done one nation at a time, because my goal for this game is not to get everything of every nation. My goal was to get everything from Japan, and then every ship. And with ships, I'm doing it at whatever pace I want to, like whatever I feel like. Like I still have Russia to go, I have Germany to go, America's complete, Britain's complete, Japan is complete, because I think that those three navies have much potential. Italy I'm also doing still. Coastal fleet is for another time, but it will. But yeah. Like it's not a bad thing if you only focus on one country to play either, as long as you're having fun with that country. And as long as you also accept that some countries just do not have the same battle effectiveness as others. Like, I am a fan of Japanese ships, but I'm never going to try and convince people that the Japanese destroyers are good ships. But anyways, on we go. What I will say though, I'm of the opinion that the best way to know the ships you're facing is by having those same vehicles yourself, or at least have some experience in them. Like the best way to know, for example, on how to detonate enemy ships is getting detonated in the exact same ship and knowing what the vulnerabilities are. So I tend to play a bit of everything. But it's yeah. If you like playing one nation at a time, if you're fine with that, just do that. I mean, didn't they pretty much confirm they were going to do that? With H39 for the Germans. I'm never going to get in front of the Detroit, am I? Should have turned left, but too late now. Please don't let it be tonight. I still have to make my video on the French pre-orders. Also, before I started the stream, the dev server was still up. And I'd be kind of surprised if the dev server would still be up and it's like the patch be the same day. But yeah. By the way, for those listening that haven't heard my opinion about the French pre-orders yet, my opinion is, if you want to pay for a premium to get in France, get the Aigle. It's a pretty fine boat, it's the cheapest of the two. The Guetrouin is very difficult to play. Aigle is also still difficult to play. And as always, and I hope people don't forget, when a new tech tree goes into closed beta testing, there's always a free way to get into it. And I actually looked up like previous tech trees to see what that actually is, the tasks. It's like get 12 stars and 1 star being get 5 wins with like 70% activity in the same vehicle type. So if you play a lot of naval, it should be very easy to get, or easy enough. I am kind of curious. I do kind of want to see the next patch soon, because I want to play a lot of battleships and see how they fare nowadays. Yeah, we'll have to see what the actual stars will be. But usually they're not too difficult if you're already pretty, you know, if you play the game a lot already. Although, from looking at the current French tech tree we have, if you're a new guy to naval, it's probably not the best tree to get into. It's pretty rough for newer players, I'd say. Also, I have not been paying attention to what kind of opponents I'm facing. I'm seeing some Belfasts, that's good. Because Belfasts are really squishy. Yeah, I saw that, Deutschland, that you didn't have the access to it on the dev server. It is a bit weird. There's a Moffat, even better. Yeah, the thing is, I've only actually played the destroyers on the dev server. And the French destroyers are, like, fine, but they're definitely not beginner friendly, I'd say. Oh well. They're weird, they're like an intermediate level of naval nation. Yeah, oddly enough they do, although with slower turrets. Also, how is that ship I'm shooting at 100% crew? something isn't adding up here. Oh, there we go, 9%.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
I might have been splashing a ship behind it or something. I do hope that the tech tree you saw on Death Server 2 wasn't a full tech tree though for France, because that is a very sad little tech tree. Because first of all, they're missing their coastal fleet. Second of all, no 5.7 or 6.0 cruisers. It's a bit oof. That's like the meat and bones for me for a tech tree of 5.7s and 6.0s. Yeah. It's also the coastal fleet where you sometimes will see the most wacky and interesting ships. Especially at the higher tiers. So also what would annoy me even more is if they were to add the coastal fleet as its own closed beta test as well. That would be really annoying. Because it is a possibility, now that they're two different tech trees. Which I'm still salty about, and I will continue to be salty about. Yeah. I think I didn't take the correct route to go to Bravo, did I? I might be able to get into there. Yeah. But then I'm surprised, like, okay, France doesn't really have meaty cruisers. Like, they have the Colbert anti-air cruiser, which would be interesting. They have the Algerie. Okay, so they don't have a heavy cruiser force. So why not add it with some potent battleships? Like, I'm genuinely shocked that they didn't add a Dunkirk for France as soon as they came out. Because the gun caliber for Dunkirk is perfectly acceptable for what we have right now. And it'd be a really interesting ship to get. A real nice pearl at the end of the tech tree for with an interesting new gun layout. Possibly mechanic with the split turret, who knows? But nope, no Dunkirk, and that surprises me. It's a bit of a shame, really. In general, I'm kind of disappointed that it didn't push naval a little step forward with the introduction of France. Although, we might still see more ships when the update actually goes live. But I'm not holding my breath for it. Oh, hello. Surely at this range I can't miss the ammo rack, right? Surely. Yeah, that's the same with me. With most navies, really, I don't know much of them. Until I start seeing their ships in this game.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
To be honest, I'm actually more of a fan of having more anti-air on battleships and more firepower. Although the Britannia's anti-air in the fit we're getting isn't that great either, it's still something. Yeah, the Lorraine looks really funky. Like the proportions for the superstructure to hull just doesn't look right. Not to my eyes, at least. And I'm used to the pagoda masts and staring at them for hours. Oh yeah, the training cruiser as well. Which one was it again? What was the name of it? But I know which one you mean, the 4-7 thing. Not looking forward to spading that training cruiser though, because it's basically Du Guet-Trouin but slower. Yeah.
Allied forces have captured a zone. Keep it up and victory will be ours.
There's an enemy over there I can shoot. The thing is, don't the Japanese and French actually share one of the air guns, the 13.2s? They're like the same mount. Also, the French anti-air is very strange. Because if you look at their pre-war stuff, or like the stuff they had when the war broke out, it's all close to like German anti-air, with single-shot 37s, 13.2s, and I think that's about it. Whilst, of course, you go to the stuff that got refitted in America, it's filled with Bofors and 20 mils. That too, yeah. The 25 is also similar to the French one. Although we don't have any French ships with 25s on them. But did they actually use them for naval purposes? The French? They did, ooh. Enemy captured Charlie. There's the destroyer over there. Okay, front guns were nowhere near aligned.
Just keep it up and victory will be ours.
And final blow. For another good naval match. Yes. I do now, at least. French must 10, ooh. Let's go with a 150% booster. And I'll get a backup on my Gorky as well. So it is the more expensive one to repair. Can I get another special task? I think I can. Mission maker, we can try. I think, what other challenges do I have? You have this one, get Terror of the Ocean, Terror of the Sea, I think, which we're very close to getting. But I think the next battle pass task that recently unlocked is get Professional 30 times, and I think you can only do that in ground battles. So I have to do that one off stream. Unless people want to see me bumble around in tanks and arcade. Japanese port is not a bad map to start off with. I do have to remember I have a 150% booster running, we seem to be in a down tier. Although that might not be the best of things with all those Moffats firing from that range. Ooh, we're fighting our Navy guy. That's rough, because I know they're actual players. And they tend to be pretty good. Enemy... Yep, Frank Knox. Get a cruiser, is not our Navy guy. In general, I find the Battle Pass a little bit lackluster in terms of vehicle rewards this time around. Although, I am a big fan of the S701. I have come to like it quite a bit. Aha, our Navy guy's in a Belfast. Okay. Just gonna quickly double check something. Although I would be shocked if our Navy goes botting, but yeah, they're not. Probably just grinding the British tree. Because it is the one thing I have to be very careful as well when accepting people into the squadron, is whether or not they're actual botters or not. I've actually had it happen twice, where people applied to my squadron, and I looked at the stat card and there were obvious botters enabled. And that, yeah, straight rejections. Didn't even give them the time of day. But that's literally, that's the only reason I'd ever look at the stat card of people when I accept them into the squadron, is have you played any naval at all, and are you not a botter? That's all I look at. I'm still annoyed you cannot set naval requirements. Like they've unlocked the options like where you can set squadrons can set restrictions on people applying to them to have like a certain rank of vehicle and a certain vehicle type and a certain number of battle plays played. And I want to just put a restriction on like rank 2 blue water and coastal, or heck, even just blue water. And the option is there to do it, but you cannot save those options for some reason. I need to start firing AP soon because I'm not padding his engines. Yep, AP. I'm missing by way too far. And are the players that spawned with me actual players? Of course they aren't. Why would they be? Why should I even expect actual player backup? Yeah. Because British SAP also has very high penetration for what it is. So annoying. I will never understand people that still defend the botters. As, oh, they're just XP pinata, they're so easy to destroy. Yes, but they're also just absolutely unreliable teammates.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Let's fire one more sub salvo and then go straight to the AP again. No, let's actually secondary go on at first love. And I think our buddy in the Belfast is actually sinking now. Yep. Not even assist, damn. I'll let this happen and try and sink some of these Moffats. I don't actually think you can get battleships on these maps, on this map. At least I don't remember ever having a battleship match on this map. I'm gonna launch the scout aircraft. It's gonna be the only hope of me actually to be winning this match. Theoretically, if the Coma can get on this map, then the Glorious can as well. Yeah, but Spey is smaller, 11 inch. Compared to Glory's is 15 and the Coma's 12. Okay. Something's gunning me down, but I think it just is sinking. Looks like it's sinking. That's a friendly, actually. Hold on. Let's focus on the landing first.
We're losing.
Yeah. Turku would be a pretty funny ship to see, and I'm going to get slapped by that Belfast, am I? Can I get the capture point? No, because I'm bouncing around like crazy at 60 kph for some reason. Although the Belfast seems to be struggling. What? Don't you dare. Not when I'm this close to... Oh my god. Okay. 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 Note to self, the core gets very unstable at around 60 kph. Unstable enough to flip itself, apparently. God damn it, man. That was just... That shouldn't happen. Not with... The waves weren't even really that big for a float plane. That just shouldn't have happened.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
I don't really want to pick a fight with the Belfast anymore, so I'm just not going to.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Oop, that was Nakazuki, apparently. Bold choice, Blackarodney, I was about to say, as he knocks out one of my turrets. Again, Blackarodney does have a vulnerable rear magazine, if I can only hit it. He's firing rockets at me, but I think I'm still out of range of him. Yep, I was out of range of his rockets. Is there an enemy aircraft up? What are my AI gunners trying to shoot? Something up ahead, I think. Yep. a bit of luck that AI PR183 is going to decapture Bravo. Because that's what the actual AI do. They capture and decap points. Which makes them 100% more reliable than most of these zombies. That is a questionable ship choice. I'm not gonna lie at this late stage of the match. Very questionable. Like, when I see somebody spawn a coastal vessel like that this late in the match, he just got killed by a cruiser here. He knows there's a cruiser here. And yet he spawns a coastal vessel there. A big coastal vessel too.
The Allied forces have captured a zone.
Like, you should have been able to see that one coming, surely. Yeah, that's the one thing. The AI will actually pretty much never capture a capture point. They'll decap it. They'll decap it all day long. But they won't cap it, which is a good thing. That aircraft should not make it to me, please. There we go. But he's still got a chance. Nope, he no longer has a chance. There we go. Nope, is he going to capture the point anyways?
Another zone captured.
There he goes. So I want to mention that this one AI has done more usefulness for the victory of this match than the entire rest of my team. He has decapped Alpha, decapped Bravo, and then captured Bravo. No, they don't accidentally drive through it. It's very deliberate the way they move through capture points. Like, the AIs will always try to decapture points. They're just a bit wishy-washy about actually capturing them. There's a few enemy cruisers over there, but don't really care about them. Ouch. It was a destroyer shooting me. I see a Köln and a Belfast. And I think I'll give them a few shells. Because there's pretty much nothing else for me to shoot at anyways. Swap to the AP. Because I do not think the sap is actually good enough to go to the engines. And final blow. That should have been a good enough match for the 150% booster. Yes, good enough. Next up, probably rudder replacement. And I think the Battle Pass challenge, I need one more as well, don't I? Yep. One more Terror of the Sea. Oh, Professional is a thing you get in naval as well? Oh, didn't know. I only ever associated Professional with ground RB, or ground battles in general. Black Sea port with one cruiser spawn. I smell an up there. Yep. I spawned in the middle of the pack, and there's a Helgoland, so it is indeed an up there. Why? 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 Why must you up to your squad mates like that? Into Helena hell? Out of curiosity, has this guy actually played? Ah, he's played a lot of naval actually. Damn. So you have German battleships. Yet you spawned a Satsuki. Alrighty. He might be going in for memes. I don't really want to shoot anything. That's... I could have sworn that superstructure looked like a battleship to me, but oh well. I haven't seen any enemy battleships yet, which is a good sign. Or it might be a bad sign. But I'll choose to be positive about it. Way too much lead. Getting some secondary hits, but they won't do a lot of damage. What I'm doing right here really isn't what you're supposed to do on this map. You're supposed to try and get to Bravo and sink all those cargo vessels. Or escort fleet in general. But it just leaves you so exposed to broadside fire from this spawn point. So what I've come to do on this map, on this kind of variation, is just rush this middle island and like go along the sides of it and use it as cover. I think I might go along the right side here. That's an AI, yep. That looks about right. Yep. The rear turret needs to turn the other way around. I'm going to start to slow down. Also, I'm not actually going to use my rear turret all that much. Enemy Sheleshnikov and Helena. I'm going to start reversing, because I only want to face one opponent at a time, or preferably face one opponent at a time. I somehow got first strike now, but delayed. But oh well. And I'm getting rammed by a Helena, because why not? He'll just ram that little peninsula and run himself aground at some point. I'll load the AP now, because that's about tanking Zhelezhnikov. And SAP is not quite going to cut it. Yeah, although I would do metric for everything anyways, because metric is just a measurement system I grew up with. But I've also heard from some pilots that they like to have their units in knots and miles an hour sometimes. The only reason I don't really use knots is because I don't know what that means. I don't know what that speed means. Like if you say to me, oh, it's going 30 knots, I don't know if that's like... I can't really quickly calculate how fast it is. I think it's only like 50 something kph, 56 is 30 knots, something like that. What times 1.8? Okay, there goes one Helena. Or one that beached itself, who would have guessed? Ooh, 2 enemy Prince Eugens. Let's see if we can actually detonate one, because I haven't detonated Eugens in ages. And I fear I'm losing my touch when it comes to that. Although that front one is so damaged that you probably actually go for crew compartment more than anything else. Des Moines is coming up as well. Let's try and detonate Des Moines first, because I do know how to detonate Des Moines. I'm pretty confident in it. It's too much lead. I thought Des Moines was going a bit quicker. Is it 2 Des Moines and 2 Eugens just sailing then? Odd sight to see. Boom goes to Des Moines. That other one's gonna be behind an island, so I won't bother. For now, at least. That's an AI again. Please keep backing up, Des Moines. Please keep backing up. Oh, won't you just look at that? Okay, that's the wreck of the other Des Moines. Just phasing into existence. That should be a kill. If it actually hit the Des Moines and not the wreck, might have been a kill. Because Des Moines does have a lot of guns, and those guns do hurt. But it's a Des Moines at least. I think I should be backing up, shouldn't I? You know what I also noticed? When they made a small little announcement as to why they changed why they disabled AI gunners for the main guns. And they gave two reasons. And I think they only gave two reasons because they, didn't want to admit that it's a strategy to counter bots, and it's a failed strategy because the bots no longer use the AI gunners. Like, they gave a reason for one. Oh, they disabled it because it's annoying when your main guns no longer are in the same position. Just switch off your AI gunners when you have to switch guns, and you just press E 3 times, it's not that difficult. And the second reason is, because some unsportsmanlike players are using the AI gunners to automate the process. Some. Sure thing. Some. It's really weird that Gadget just does not want to admit the botting problem in naval. They're starting to admit it, they're starting to really work towards it. But they still don't really want to address how big of a problem it is. What I might actually try and do is just lose my Gorky and spawn in a Spaconia and go straight to Bravo. That or the AR2. AI gunners do not have pinpoint accuracy. What do you mean? I think I've lost the context to that statement a bit. Yeah. Those bots have pinpoint accuracy, but they were not affected. And the normal bots, they have pinpoint accuracy because they're using an aimbot, they're not using the AI gunners either. You know, the zombies, I like to call them. Although they're not really zombies anymore, seeing as they're actually lethal. I used to call them zombies because they just wouldn't hit anything. Yep. But the thing is, that is not because they're using AI gunners on their main guns. That's because they're using an aimbot to shoot their main guns. Because you can tell by the way my secondaries are firing that's the accuracy of AI gunners. And you probably know just as well as me what the original zombies were like. They were inaccurate as all hell. And that is when they were using AI gunners. But yeah. It's a weird change. Because it's a change on the one hand I kind of understand. But it also really messes with some ships and certain events. Like Atlanta, which relies on its main guns for being anti-air firepower. Yep, you have to manually aim all of those now. Good luck. Same with the Akizuki. Look, I don't think I've ever had a problem with AI gunners taking over my main guns. Not in a long while. Des Moines behind us? I kind of want to one-tap the Des Moines. The Des Moines is very low health as well. There goes all his 76s heading my way. And my shells were just too low and a bit too far back as well. And that's going to be too much lead now, isn't it? Still too low. How's the Des Moines going away from me? Is he sailing away from me? To me it looks like he's sailing towards me. But he is indeed obviously sailing away from me. And I don't think I can actually pan his magazine at this angle. So let's just try and go for the crew kill. Howland at the front? No, Sheleshnikov. Come on. Nope. That's gonna be my demise. That is begging for 500 kilo bombs. I'm going to try and bomb those dual Helenas just sticking together. Where are they? There they are. We looked at this guy's player card. He has battleships. Yet he spawned an Ainami and 2 Satsukis. Was being updated with a 6-3 battleship. Oh Jesus. Those were close. Very close. These two Helenas make such good targets. Because there's literally just two of them sticking together for some reason. That's a lot of flak though. I can almost lob these bombs over. Okay, that's one attempt. I have another one spare just in case. Okay, there goes a wingtip. Those are looking good. Yeah, I no longer have a plane either. Oh, do I? Ah, they were long. Yeah, I can't steer this one back. And I think I'm just gonna leave this match because there's no hope for me to actually do anything. Although, I could try the kudos and see what happens. But I have little hope. There is a spay over there, and I kind of one-shot a spay if I want to. Although he seems to be looking my direction. Nope, not quite. Those shots are not looking too bad. Maybe a little bit too far forward. Yeah. Those should be better. Yep. But it seems that I'm going to be the next victim of the enemy cruisers. Let's maybe try and sink this last one. Okay, that guy's going down. There's the two Helenas. I did not even notice that guy, so let's just no, what is it again? Is it answer? It is. That is such a passive-aggressive excuse me in that voice. But oh well. I think I've covered myself for most of the Helenas. But now to deal with the other cruisers. really need to fire AP at these cruisers. A German light cruiser I might be able to detonate with a bit of luck. And a modicum of skill. I might actually go for that one then first. Because Zeleshnikov seems a bit... I don't know what's going on with Zeleshnikov. Yep. And game over. Terror of the Sea. That should be my last one for the Battle Pass task. The Terror of the Sea. Yes, there we go. Let's go with ammo wetting next. And we got some more Battle Pass. Challenge is done. And I do think I'm going to end it here for tonight. We've been going for, what is it, 2 hours and 40 something minutes? Should be something along those lines. So yeah, those are the cutoffs. And what will I do on Friday? No clue. Probably something coastal again. Maybe American coastal to grind that a bit further. But as always, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all on Friday.